You awake now?
I'm really scared.
You know how to ring the bell?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am Charlotte Reese. I use all pronouns, and I'd like to welcome you to the Bucksmont Unitarian Universalist Fellowship's multi-platform worship service, where, moved by love, we share lifelong journeys of growth, wonder, and healing. Nurturing wholeness in society and spirit, creating a community of justice and compassion. I'd like to give a welcome to everyone joining us online and in person today. Members, friends, and those who may be newcomers to our community this morning. As we begin our service, please take a moment to silence your cell phones. If you are new to Bucksmont and visiting us in person today, please stop by our visitor center in the front hallway near where you came in. There, you can also make a name tag for yourself and find more information about Unitarian Universalism, Bucksmont Fellowship, and upcoming events. If you'd like a hymnal or a printed order of service, those are available near the entrance to the sanctuary. If you are visiting us online or prefer digital methods, please email our office administrator, Beverly, to sign up for our email newsletter and to get connected to our congregation. You may also follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Bucksmont UU. Each week in our service, we offer time for people to share a joy or sorrow from their lives by texting a phone number. That number is shared on screen for everyone now and will be again later in the service. If you would like to see the order of service, details about upcoming services, or other ways to gather in our community, you can find that on the homepage of our website, www.bucksmontuu.org. Whether you are a guest, friend, or member, we are glad you are a part of our worship service today. There's a lot happening at Bucksmont, and we'd like to highlight these announcements in particular. If you are interested in joining our congregation as a member, our monthly UU and You conversation with Reverend Kevin and members of the membership committee will happen today at noon in the library. The End of Life Planning Seminar is today after the service from 1 to 3 o'clock p.m. We will have multiple topics covering cremation, wills, and memorial planning. Please see the e-voice for more information.
And that will be in this room. I forgot to say that.
That will be here. Our next Widening the Circle program takes place March 9th as we explore implicit bias. Donna Harris, who spoke to us last Sunday, will lead the seminar called Implicit Bias, What It Looks Like, and What You Can Do About It. This 3-hour interactive training allows us to dig deep into our UU values. It reviews concepts such as implicit and explicit biases, systemic oppression, intersectional marginalized identities, and internalized white supremacy that lurks in us all. A must for all UUs. The session will be followed by lunch. Each month, your Board of Trustees continues to recognize people in our congregation in gratitude for what they have done for Bucksmont. These people have been recognized by the board at our February meeting. Kathleen Herman and her team for leading our stewardship drive and kickoff chowder cook-off earlier this month. It was very well organized. All of the chowders and other food were delicious, and good times were had by all. Mandy Lee Garfalo for taking on leadership and organization of the Sunday morning volunteers, so we continue to have greeters, ushers, and most importantly, coffee and donuts.
Yay!
As a reminder, anyone can sign up to volunteer for one of the many roles any Sunday.
Dave and I were born and raised in Bucks County, but moved away during our college years. After 45 years, we decided to return. But it was during the pandemic, and except for family members in the area, we no longer had friends here. It was very difficult to make friends during the pandemic when we were all avoiding face-to-face contact. When I heard about Bucksmont, I became instantly excited because as a longtime UU, I knew that it would be the perfect place to make friends. A place where I'd fit in and where I could easily find like-minded, liberal-thinking folks that shared my core spiritual values. I wasn't wrong. Bucksmont allows me to continue having lots of ways to gather for activities, fun, and stimulating Sunday services. I want to keep enjoying the spiritual home and my new and deepening friendships here. Most of the UUs that I know donate privately to charities and social causes that are close to their heart. By being part of a larger group like Bucksmont, when I donate money with my pledge, I feel like I get to send it out in other different directions than what I chose privately. It supports the Social Action Committee that brings our attention to local nonprofits and various national causes. And take, for example, our Little Free Library. I love those and I use them. I've used them for years. Did I come up with the idea to build one and put it out at Bucksmont? No. But I feel like my efforts to support Bucksmont with my words, actions, and money help that happen. A shared effort with a bunch of people hidden behind the scenes helps this congregation find the energy and resources to pull off things like that. And because of that little project, our congregation has a greater reach into the wider community by supporting and promoting all the ways that reading can benefit our society. My pledge money drips into the larger pot throughout the year, as does the money of other congregants. That larger pot can then serve out small or larger portions of our financial resources as our board, our committees, our minister, and our congregation decides. Our group reach far exceeds our singular reach. So even if I didn't walk in the Pride Parade, I'm there spiritually and recognizing that others are representing me. And even if I don't add my talents to the beautiful decorations that grace this building every week, I feel like my financial contributions can help buy some of those materials and that some of my actions can help support the continued efforts of the decorating committee. Giving financially to Bucksmont contributes not just to my fun, friendships, and spiritual growth, but also to that of other members and to the larger community around us.
As we gather in our sanctuary, in our homes, or watch from mobile screens almost anywhere, we are all together. Those watching now on Sunday and those who may be watching months from now. We are joined together for worship across both space and time. This is a free, creedless religious congregation in the discipline of truth and the spirit of universal kinship. We join together in a cooperative quest for religious and ethical values, seeking to apply these values to the development of character, enrichment of the spirit, and service to all. You are welcome here, whoever you are, whomever you love, whatever the color of your skin or your country of origin, no matter your gender expression or gender identity, whatever your age, however you define family, wherever you are at this time, and whatever the source of your faith, you are welcome here.
This morning, as we do each time we gather, we kindle our Unitarian Universalist chalice. We do so today with words from Wendell Berry. There are moments in life, when the heart is generous, and then it knows that, for better or worse, our lives are woven here together, one with one another and with the place and all the living things. Please light your chalice at home. Our common chalice is now lit.
Good morning. My name is Margaret Lee, and I use she, her pronouns. Did I say that right? Yes, she, her pronouns. And we're going to teach you this morning's introit. We're going to sing in place of our normal opening hymn. And I have a couple helpers with me today to do that. This is Susanna behind me. Say hello, Susanna. And this is Connor, who's going to play the drums for us today. And this is our sidekick. All right, so why don't you stay seated while we learn the song, and then we'll stand, we'll rise in body or spirit after that. So first, it's a call and answer. So I sing, and then you sing the words also. We're doing the exact same thing. So the first part is, forget your perfect offering.
Forget your perfect offering.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
There is a crack in everything.
There is a crack in everything.
Okay, wait, this part's a little different. It's quicker. So I sing, that's how, then you sing, that's how, and I sing, the light, the light. And then there's a different line that isn't up there. Gets in, and then you sing, that's how the light gets in. So it goes, we'll do it super slow. That's how the light gets in.
That's how the light gets in.
That's how
the light
gets in.
That's how the light gets in.
Whoops. Okay, we'll do it once through, and then I'm going to let Susanna take over. Okay, we're going to do it a little slow, but it's going to go faster. Forget your perfect offering.
Forget your perfect offering.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
There is a crack in everything.
There is a crack in everything.
That's how the light gets in.
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 Awesome. All right, let's rise in body and spirit, and we'll get Connor started, and then Susanna, and then we're going to have a ball. Forget your perfect
is a crack in everything.
That's
That's how
the light gets in.
That's how the light gets in.
That's how
That's how
the light gets in.
That's how the light gets in.
That's how
That's how
the light gets in.
That's how the light gets in.
That's how
That's how
the light gets in.
That's how the light gets in.
All right, it's time for all ages, so anyone young or young at heart, please come on up to the front. My name is Melissa Sperringer. I'm the Director of Religious Education, and I use she, her pronouns. So as we're getting settled up here today, we're going to do things a little bit backwards. We're going to open the Wonder Box towards the end, all right? So we're going to do some talking, and then we'll do the Wonder Box. Is that okay with everyone? Yeah? Cool, thanks. So, today the adults who are not coming down to join us in the classrooms and have fun are going to be talking about generosity. Who knows what generosity is? Leota, go ahead.
It's like someone has to, like my dad has to walk around and see what's going on in the fellowship today.
Ah, your dad, he's on Safe Congregations, right? So that is one of the ways that he is being generous. He is sharing his time with our community. Nate, would you like to say something? Come on up.
I know that generosity is something about home that we like our family.
It is. We are usually very generous in our homes and with our families. So the word generous is all about giving. And there are lots of ways to give. Who can think of some different ways that we give to other people? Ah, giving food. That is a great way to give. Who else can think of a way that what's something that we can give to somebody else? Anyone like to give out hugs? Yeah, I like to give hugs. Anyone else? None of the, okay, I got some adults. All right, thank you. All right, what about, Nate, you have something else you'd like to share? Come on, you can say it. What would you like to give? What do you like to give?
We give cat toys to the cats.
Yes, Nate gave cat toys to some cats who needed some toys at the ASPCA. So sometimes we give things to people or creatures that need them. Does anyone do that? It's usually pretty common around the holidays. We'll give out some of our old toys to make room for some new toys and give toys to other kids who might not get as many toys. Yeah. Oh, she does love them? That's great. Can we think of anything else we give? So we give time, we give hugs or love, we give food, we give things. That's pretty much a lot of them, right? Flowers? Flowers are a great thing to give. So when we give something, how does that make us feel? Happy? Go ahead, Nate. Yes, when somebody gets food, that we are making other people happy. So I think that does make us happy. Any other feelings that come up when you are giving? Happy, maybe loving, maybe glad. Yeah? All right. So today, in the Wonder Box, who would like to open it? Let's do Harrison. I think it's been a minute for him. What's in there?
Cards.
They're sort of like cards.
They're seeds.
They're seeds. So today, instead of you guys playing with something, I would like all the kids to grab one of these seed packets and to give it to somebody who helps you grow. Somebody you love, somebody you care about, or somebody who helps you. So why doesn't all the kids come up and grab one? Young or young at heart? There's plenty. And you can give it to somebody now, or you can give it to somebody later on. Your choice. Oh, here you go. Oh, that's very sweet. Oh, you guys traded. That was very kind. Did everyone get one? Yeah? Are you giving it to me? Thank you. That's very kind. Oh, all right. Did everyone get it? Okay. Thank you all, and I hope you all can continue to be generous and to be giving to others in your lives and in your community over this next, few weeks. Thank you. Okay, let's head downstairs.
As you go on your way, may you be filled with gladness. Go enjoy, go enjoy. May fortune bless your day with peace and loving kindness. Go in love, go in love. As you go on your way, may you be filled with gladness. Go enjoy, go enjoy. May fortune bless your day with peace and loving kindness. Go in love, go in love.
The offering in liberal religion is a vital part of our history of faith. As a covenanted community, people who freely choose to be here, our voluntary giving is symbolic of that freedom of choice. Each week at Bucksmont, we share our offering with a different cause or organization in the community. For the month of February, we are sharing with Bucksmont Meals on Wheels, a volunteer-run organization which delivers hot and cold meals to residents through Hatboro, Horsham, Warminster, and Moreland communities who are otherwise unable to provide for themselves. We ask that you participate in our morning offering in one of these ways. You can write out a check to Bucksmont and mail it into the fellowship. You may donate now or at the end of our worship service, or you may place your donation into one of the baskets as they are passed. We will now receive the morning offering. community continues to grow and thrive due to generous donations of both time and money. For the ways that you contribute and how it sustains this fellowship, we are truly grateful. This morning's reading is from poet Bernadette Knoll. I want to age like sea glass, smoothed by tides, not broken. I want the currents of life to toss me around, shake me up, and leave me feeling washed clean. I want my hard edges to soften as the years pass, made not weak, but supple. I want to ride the waves, go with the flow, feel the impact of the surging tides rolling in and out. When I am thrown against the shore and caught between the rocks and a hard place, I want to rest there until I can find the strength to do what is next. Not stuck, just waiting, pondering, feeling what it feels like to pause. And when I am ready, I will catch a wave and let it carry me along to the next place I am supposed to be. I want to be picked up on occasion by an unsuspected soul and carried along, just for the connection, just for the sake of appreciation and wonder. And with each encounter, new possibilities of collaboration are presented, and new ideas are born. I want to age like sea glass, so that when people see the old woman I'll become, they'll embrace all that I am. They'll marvel at my exquisite nature, hold me gently in their hands, and be awed by my well-earned patina. Neither flashy nor dull, just a perfect luster. And they'll wonder, if just for a second, what it is exactly I am made of and how I got to this very here and now. And we'll both feel lucky to be in that perfectly right place at that profoundly right time. I want to age like sea glass. I want to enjoy the journey and let my preciousness be, not in spite of the impacts of life, but because of them.
We shall be known by the ones who, sorry. Wrong words. I should look at my music. I'm always telling the choir to look at their music. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. That's right. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now. And what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love. These lyrics from today's anthem speak to me, and I hope they do to you as well. They are a charge and a hopeful path forward. This month, we've been reflecting on the theme of generosity, and with our stewardship campaign well underway, hopefully not soon to capsize, we have been reflecting on financial generosity in particular. That form of generosity is important. It keeps this place going. And there are additional ways of living a generous life that I'd like us to reflect on together. There is the giving of tangible gifts as we explored in our Time for All Ages. In this case, the giving of seeds. We plant seeds of all types, particularly in the coming weeks. Seeds for flowers and for crops, but also seeds of change and transformation. We plant seeds of relationship here as well. All of these types of seeds require a generous spirit. We do not have any guarantees that they will take root and grow. We can only tend them the best we can. Along with financial generosity and gifts, there is relational generosity too. How we are generous with those people we encounter in life, whether they be people we are in deep relationships with, meet just once, or are somewhere in between. Reverend Elia Keller is the UU minister of First Parish Church of Groton, Massachusetts, and has been for more than 20 years. Groton is a town about an hour's drive from Boston and has a little over 11,000 people, a bit less than half the size of our own Warrington Township here in Pennsylvania. Elia shared this reflection on building a common life a few years ago, which I believe still rings true today. Last fall, our weekly small town newspaper had 2 stories I loved. One was a thank you note from the animal control officer to several residents for rescuing a herd of 5 ponies and 1 goat. Apparently, the goat figured out how to unlock the barn gate and liberated everyone while the owners were away. The ponies and goat were trotting down the road towards Dunkin' Donuts and who knows where else. Neighbors gathered, recognized and identified the runaways, and got everyone safely back to their barn. The second story was a plea from a reporter asking the person who had stolen a styrofoam gravestone to please return it to its rightful owner with no questions asked. The gravestone's creator sets up a free haunted house for the neighborhood kids every Halloween. We were all encouraged to keep an eye out for the missing gravestone, which at 4 feet tall should be hard to hide. The next week, we got the reassuring news the gravestone had been returned. This is small town life at its best. Drivers stop to let you in because if you cut someone off, you'll see them later at the post office. At the dump, people set out their useful junk on a concrete wall so you can get rid of your own trash and come home with someone else's. We use town meetings as our form of governance, which means sitting in the middle school auditorium and voting on important things, like whether we can afford a new senior center by raising our hands. There are no secret ballots, relatively few secrets at all. And for almost 400 years, people have managed to live here together, despite fierce disagreements. But these are not the best of times. Around the same time as the runaway goat and missing gravestone, our elected town leaders proposed putting up stones at all the town entrances engraved with the words, "All are welcome." And it quickly turned horrible. The welcome stones uncovered ugly things: mistrust, fear, racism, homophobia, barely buried beneath the surface of this rocky New England soil. Words like illegals and criminal elements were spoken. There were warnings about busloads of pedophiles and rapists who would arrive once the stones went up. The church I serve was accused of promoting a pro-gay, pro-immigrant agenda, which I was proud to confirm. When it came time to take the vote, after weeks of bitter argument and contempt on all sides, I had to force myself to keep my eyes open. I didn't want to see who voted no, but I knew I needed to look, to see my neighbors' faces in a moment which felt like a referendum on our community's heart. The vote to keep the welcome stones passed by a solid margin, for which I am grateful, but it was a painful time. Still, I choose to believe in community. I choose to believe in the difficult, slow work of building a common life. I believe in the strength and goodness of neighbors living side by side, finding each other's lost goats and gravestones, even when we do not agree about things that deeply matter. The welcome stones have been put into place now. The best hopes of those of us who wanted them have not come to pass, and neither have the worst fears of those who did not. Time will inevitably soften their edges. I pray we will become more able to live into the welcome they proclaim. In the meantime, we are still here, our lives interwoven in this place we call home. This process in Groton is even more poignant given the town's history. In the 19th century and early part of the 20th century, it was a largely white and Christian town and may have been a sundown town. The town became a center of Ku Klux Klan activities after World War I. This second Klan expressed primarily anti-Catholic and anti-immigrant prejudice while opposing ethnic minorities. In September 1924, Klansmen gathered in the town, arriving in approximately 50 automobiles with identity-protected professionals and merchants from the area. Many townspeople opposed the Klan, and their active protest resulted in some violence. In October 1926, a group of 400 Klansmen were meeting in a field in the town when they were fired upon with guns used by a group of approximately 100 people opposed to the Klan. The police reported that over 100 gunshots were exchanged between the two groups, but no casualties were reported. In 2017, following the negativity of the campaign for the 2016 presidential election, the town adopted the motto, "All are welcome," as a statement of its openness and tolerance. 6 stones were engraved with this motto and placed on the major roads entering the town from neighboring communities. In 2020, nearly 100 years after the Klan events of the mid-1920s, and in recognition of earlier violence and the contemporary social justice movement, Groton unanimously approved a measure denouncing racial bigotry and advocating equality. How we weave together community takes a good portion of relational generosity. Places and people can indeed change, not all at once, not as fast as we'd like, and not all in ways we might like. But even when we know not all our neighbors can get behind a statement like, all are welcome. We also know that many, and more each day, indeed do. It feels as though each year there are more challenges to connection, relationship, and kindness in our world. Unfortunately, in the coming months, with multiple wars unfolding, a national election cycle that promises to be divisive and chaotic, and who knows what else that may unfold, now might be a good time to practice relational generosity, to fill our tanks on what it means to be generous with one another. When I think about times people have been generous with me, it is almost always in the form of relational generosity. The path to becoming a minister is part formal study, part experiential learning, and a big part of other people giving their wisdom and being in relationship with the person becoming. Countless congregations of multiple congregations took a chance on me while in formation. They sat with me on committees. They let me into their lives when they knew I didn't really know what I was doing. And they offered me their perspectives along the way. Colleagues do this too. I've had more than half a dozen UU ministers as formal mentors throughout my journey to become a minister. They met with me, formally evaluated me, informally chatted with me, and were there for the phone calls when I was unsure, when I was confused, and when I was elated. Of all of these people, as well as friends and family, have been generous with me over and over again. We do not become who we are in a vacuum. The adage about pulling oneself up by the bootstraps is sorely incomplete. Yes, there is an individual component to it, but I believe that the collective generosity it takes to become who we are is a much more important factor in the equation. Are there people who have been generous in relationships with you? People who just show up for you in big ways or in the small, everyday sorts of ways. Take a moment now and think about them. Bring their names to mind. As we reflect on those who helped us become, I am reminded of Donna Ashworth's poem, You. If every single person who has liked you in your lifetime were to light up on a map, it would create the most glitteringly beautiful network you could imagine. Throw in the strangers you've been kind to, the people you've made laugh or inspired along the way, and that star-bright network of you would be an impressive sight to behold. You're so much more than you think you are. You have done so much more than you realize. You are trailing a bright pathway that you don't even know about. What a thing. What a thing indeed. This leads me from relational generosity to being generous with yourself. Honestly, this one can be far harder for some than being financially or relationally generous. Here we also draw on the reading from this morning from Bernadette Knoll, and we think about what it might mean to age like sea glass. I want to age like sea glass so that when people see the old woman I'll become, they'll embrace all that I am. They'll marvel at my exquisite nature, hold me gently in their hands, and be awed by my well-earned patina. Neither flashy nor dull, just a perfect luster. And they'll wonder, if just for a second, what it is exactly I am made of, and how I got to this very here and now. And we'll both feel lucky to be in that perfectly right place at that profoundly right time. I want to age like sea glass. I want to enjoy the journey and let my preciousness be, not in spite of the impacts of life, but because of them. What could it mean to be okay with ourselves? And not just okay, but to marvel at who we are becoming as we live this life. To have gratitude to the many people who helped us along the way. To forgive those who caused us harm or impeded our journey. And to hold our own self in a generous light, knowing that we are imperfect, and in the imperfection, we've become who we needed to be. Each time I meditate, I close that time with these words from Unitarian minister Edward Everett Hale. I am only one, but still I am one. I cannot do everything, but still I can do something. And because I cannot do everything, I will not refuse to do the something that I can do. What might it mean to hold to these words and to expand them to our life in community? To imagine not just the something that we can do individually, but to also imagine what we might do together if we are able to practice generosity in all its forms. May we be known by the company we keep. May we invest deeply in community. May we allow ourselves to age like sea glass. May we be generous in multiple ways. Particularly, may we be generous toward ourselves. May we forget our perfect offerings, and may we continue to learn to lead in love. So may it be.
Last minute instructions. My name is Lynn Nugent. I use she, her pronouns. I'm the hymn leader for today. And we're going to do hymn 1010, We Give Thanks, but we're all going to stay seated. Except for me.
Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day.
Let us now enter into a time of awareness within ourselves and connection beyond boundaries, connection to one another, to that interdependent web of life of which we are each but one small thread. As we breathe in, we are connected. As we breathe out, we are connected. With gratitude, I share these words from Reverend Jan Tadeo. The storm outside echoes the storm raging within my soul. So many people in need, so much pain, so much grief. Too many causes and campaigns fill my mailboxes, sap my energy, beg for my money. 3 things I must do. Only 3 things? You've got to be kidding. Which 3 do I choose? Books and letters, magnets and movies implore me to dance as if no one is watching. Learn 7 habits, make 4 agreements, give generously, vote often, express myself. Yet hundreds, thousands, millions live with hunger and thirst, in poverty, enduring violence and disease. Did Mother Teresa, Martin, and Gandhi cry out with despair from the darkness of overwhelm? What 3 things did they choose? 3 things. 3 things we must do. Is it to act in kindness, serve justice, love God and your neighbor even as you love yourself? But where do I start? So much thoughtlessness, hatred, and fear. Too little justice, too much selfishness. Where is God? Who is my neighbor? 3 things, 7 principles, 10 commandments, 12 steps. All number of things speak to us, and yet we must choose. We must choose to do something. So 3 things may be the right number, not too few, not too many. But which 3 things shall I do? Will you do? Here's an adage I've always liked. Don't just do something, stand there. Stand in the surf, or sit on a rock, or lay your body across the earthy loam and be quiet, very quiet. Do you hear it? That still small voice, the echo of your soul, reverberating within the call to your own true self to emerge. Then the calm within becomes the calm without. The storm blows over. The sun recovers its position of strength, and that glorious symbol of hope and unity emerges across the sky. At the end of this rainbow, a treasure, the 3 things you must do. Go outside yourself and know the needs of the world. Go within and discover your life-given gifts. Then arch yourself like a rainbow bridge between the 2 and create a more beautiful world. As we breathe in, we are connected. As we breathe out, we are connected. May our minds create a vision of the world radical enough to be called holy. May our actions contain the promise of hope and the commitment to justice. May our hearts remember that love is a power that resists all forms of fear. By our thoughts, by our actions, by our hearts, and by our very breath, may it be so. As part of our caring outreach to one another, we set aside a few moments to note both the sorrows and the joys in our lives. In these moments of peace and reflection, we turn our attention to one another and hold each and all in our compassionate thoughts and the prayers of our hearts. This morning, we are lighting candles to mark the important moments in our lives. Each candle adds to the collective light of this community, a place that also holds the memories of those who have gone before and anticipates those who have yet to arrive. To share the joy or sorrow you would like held by our caring community, text the number that is now on screen. Please include your name along with your sharing. It is the same number no matter how you join us today, and you can add it to your contacts for future weeks. I will read them aloud, and Charlotte will light a candle on your behalf. What is shared today will go out in our weekly caring notes for those who cannot be with us this morning. Please remember to include your name with what you share. And now we will light a final candle for all of the joys and sorrows that remain unspoken and deep within our hearts. With words spoken and candles lit, we honor our joys and our sorrows, those shared this morning and the many, many more that exist beyond words. Through our time together, our relationships are deepened and our community made whole.
Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing our closing hymn, Building a New Way.
Our chalice extinguishing words this morning are adapted from Elena Westbrook. We extinguish our chalice, but not our hope, for the arc of the universe is long, and we can bend it toward justice. We extinguish our chalice, but not our courage, for together we have the strength to confront injustice in our daily lives and the larger world. We extinguish our chalice, but not our love, because a holy and generous love is both the reason and the means by which we transform our lives.
As our community departs from this service, may we remember all who came before. May we imagine all who will come after. May we honor all who are present with us here and now. In our time together, we create this community, one of promise, one of commitment, one of generosity. In our time together, may each of us become a sanctuary for all we meet on the journey. May we go together now and return again.